Okay, yo. Yo guys, welcome back to King Olds. This is now your WWE WrestleMania 2022 live review here for you. Well, WrestleMania Backlash live review here for you guys today. And yeah, it's an interesting one because on paper the card was absolutely it's just for the rematches, not exactly great, but in the end, the show was actually pretty good. But yeah, we're going to go through it all now, though. And yeah, we're going to go rating the matches and everything like that. I'm excited because I'm actually happy because we actually got, because I wasn't actually that hyped coming into it, but I'm actually really happy with how the show turned out. So fair play. Fair play. But yeah, so the show, of course, started off. So the show, of course, started off with Cody Rhodes versus it started off with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. And what a match it was to start the show. It's a fantastic match to get underway. And, it was just such an enjoyable match, really. It was just a really enjoyable match to just to watch to get us underway. There are so much near falls in this match. I mean, it's absolutely unreal. To be honest with you, how close these guys were to finishing each other. I thought Cody would win, but it was this close. I was honestly convinced that some stages in the match that Seth Rollins would actually do it. Luckily, he didn't. Cody Rhodes did pick up the win after an absolutely amazing match with a load of great moves in this match. I mean, Cody Rhodes, I believe he. He tried to pedigree Seth Rollins at some point in this match. I think he hit the crossroads about 3 times or something overall. It might have even been more than that, but the match didn't actually end with the crossroads. It ended with Seth going for the roll up, holding Cody Rhodes' tights, and then Cody Rhodes reversed that into his own roll up, holding Seth Rollins' tights. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wins via roll up, and I don't mind this match just because. I don't mind this match ending via roll up because I think it's just fine because you kind of need because you do kind of need to protect a guy like Seth Rollins, but it's obviously no shame in losing to Cody Rhodes anyway, and it was controversial. There were some people saying, that Cody Rhodes is officially turned heel. Cody has not turned heel. He has not. Cody Rhodes is not a heel. Have you seen the amount of baby faces who have done that kind of dirty moves? I mean, there are a load of baby faces who have done stuff like that, and they're still faces. So, Cody Rhodes is still a baby face, and I guarantee you he will be for a long time. So, Cody Rhodes is not turning heel. Just saying, just putting out there, Cody Rhodes is not turning heel. Match out of 10. It gets a 8 out of 10. A solid match. An absolutely very, very, very rock solid match that we saw there, actually. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 for Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Big win for Cody Rhodes, of course. What match was it after this? Oh, yes, it was, of course, the match after this. We got Bobby Lashley versus Omos. This one was interesting. This one was very interesting, Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Was it better than the first one? They're kind of similar level, really. But, Omos, at a point, got his hands tangled in the rope by Bobby Lashley. MVP tried to get involved a few times in this match. Because of course he did. Of course, MVP tries to get involved a bit in this match, as he usually does. MVP is always trying to get involved, and he did for the ending of the match as well. MVP distracting, MVP of course distracting Bobby Lashley. I believe, if I remember rightly, he hit him with the cane. And then Omos picked him up, did his massive slam, and then Omos wins the match 1, 2, 3. So 1-1 between the two now. Interesting. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go from here with Bobby Lashley and Omos? I suppose they're going to do it again. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Probably at Hell in a Cell they'll do it again. Not inside the cell. This isn't that kind of fight that we want inside the cell. It better not be inside the cell. They won't do this inside the cell, I'm sure. I'm surely not. Surely not. Surely they won't do it in the cell. But yeah, you never know with WWE. You just never know. Right, let me get up the match card because I completely forgot what match was actually on after this one. I need to make sure that I'm getting it right. I need to make sure I'm getting it right. What match was on straight after the Bobby Lashley one? Oh, it was right. It was Edge versus AJ Styles. This is where it gets interesting. So I had to check on the Wikipedia so I had to check on the Wikipedia. It was Edge versus AJ Styles. This one is where it gets interesting. Edge versus AJ Styles. So basically, well, there's a lot to talk about here. I mean, what a match this was. I mean, these two just never failed to disappoint. It's just great every time these two step in the ring. They've only stepped into the ring twice. I enjoyed the match at WrestleMania, and I enjoyed the match at WrestleMania Backlash. What one was better? I mean, they're both, I don't know. I mean, the endings were very similar. They were quite similar. But yeah, there was lots of action in this match. I think Edge was Edge was the most dominant. I think Edge took control for the majority of the match. I think the majority of the match was actually Edge's. AJ Styles had his odd moment. He got in the calf crusher, got out of that. So yeah, AJ Styles had a few moments, but I think AJ Styles had a few moments, but I think the match was mainly dominated by Edge. But yes, as soon as we get to the ending, what happens is we of course see AJ Styles about to get the win, and then a random person comes in, knocks him off the rope. Ref doesn't see it, and then Edge follows up, gets his choke in. AJ Styles fades, and yeah, that's it. He didn't quit. Yeah, he faded. So AJ Styles faded. Edge gets the win, and guess who it turned out to be? The mystery person was Rhea Ripley, who's joined Judgment Day. Now that's Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. I like this. I really like this as well. I like it because I want to see a Rhea Ripley heel turn push. So yeah, I want to see this. I mean, obviously she's turned on Liv Morgan, so she was here anyway. But yeah, I think this is really good for a push for Rhea Ripley. Big change of character now, of course, instead of what it usually was, the boring, like the boring old stuff. But now it's something new for her. So really happy, really happy that she's joined the faction. Hopefully it leads her to big things now. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens from here. But yeah, big win for Edge, thanks to Rhea Ripley. But also what I want to say is Hell in a Cell is the next event. That is the next event. I think that Edge versus AJ Styles should happen at Hell in a Cell, because that's where all the rivalries end, inside the Hell in a Cell. It should happen inside the Hell in a Cell. Edge versus AJ Styles inside Hell in a Cell. Like, I know Edge has already got 2 up on AJ Styles, but they've been both from AJ just getting screwed over. Like, it's not like, obviously, like when you're 2-0 down, you've lost twice to someone, yeah, you accept defeat eventually. But no, the AJ Styles have been screwed over twice. If you don't want anyone to interfere, do it inside the Hell in a Cell. That's it. Surely that's got to happen. That has got to happen. Edge versus AJ Styles in the Hell in a Cell. That's where the feud ends. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm not going to get bored of these two fighting, and I think Hell in a Cell is a great way to end this rivalry, because AJ Styles keeps on getting screwed over. Damian Priest getting barred from ringside didn't even work, because he came out anyway, and then Rhea came in and screwed him over. So surely this has got to happen inside the Hell in a Cell. It's got to. This is honest. This is honestly got to happen inside Hell in a Cell. Edge versus AJ Styles. Surely we're going to see it inside the Hell in a Cell. We better anyway. We better. Match after this. Oh yes, the I Quit match between Ronda Rousey. So yes, we got after this the I Quit match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. What a match. It was better than the match they had at WrestleMania. They redeemed themselves. For the match that they had at WrestleMania, they honestly redeemed themselves in this I Quit match. This was like the one match which I was actually hyped up for. It lived up to it as well. Thank you. It was a very good match. I'll be honest with you. The only match that I was actually really hyped up for coming into the show was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Brilliant I Quit match. Brilliant I Quit match. There's a lot going on here, actually. I believe, Ronda Rousey started smashing Charlotte Flair with I believe, a kendo stick. Ronda Rousey went straight at Charlotte Flair with a kendo stick, battering Charlotte Flair's body, and then the kendo sticks, of course, broke because of the impact. Charlotte Flair has some good moments as well. She got in the figure eights at a point. Ronda Rousey said no, she doesn't want to quit. A big highlight in this as well is, of course, another big highlight in this is, of course, Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey went battling into the crowd. Wait, was it them who went battling into the crowd? I believe they went battling into the crowd, unless that was a different match I was watching. I believe they went battling into the crowd. If I'm wrong, I don't know what match I was watching, but I believe they went into the crowd for a bit. They, of course, went back. Then we, of course, saw Ronda Rousey get the armbar in on the top rope. Charlotte Flair was like dingling down from the top rope from the armbar. Charlotte Flair still said no, she doesn't quit. So eventually, how it ended: Ronda Rousey, center of the ring, got the chair in the armbar. Charlotte Flair said no, she doesn't want to quit. And then Ronda Rousey screamed down like, yeah, I'm glad she did it. I'm glad she didn't quit. And then she's like twisting the arm, literally trying to break the arm. And that's when that's of course when Charlotte Flair quits. And Ronda Rousey is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Well done to Ronda Rousey. Does this feud end here? Well, I think it should. We can't see another rematch. We've got the pay-per-view for the rematches. The only rematch I want to see at Hell in a Cell is AJ Styles versus Edge inside the Hell in a Cell. From the show, I do not want to see any more rematches at the next pay-per-view, apart from AJ Styles versus Edge. That's it. That is it. Okay, right. Match after this. It was Madcap Moss. It was, of course, the Madman Madcap Moss versus the idiot Happy Corbin. Of course, it's just, this is just a toilet break match, of course, as we know, just a toilet break match. Happy Corbin was mostly dominant in it. He hit the deep six at a point. Madcap Moss had the odd highlight. Madcap Moss had the odd highlight. Happy Corbin lost the match due to a roll-ups. Madcap Moss, he beat Happy Corbin due to a roll-up. So that's how it ended. A roll-up finish for for Madcap Moss, and it all ended. Still, I don't see the point in this match. Just a toilet break match. I wasn't really too hyped up for it anyway. I mean, they tried to. Look, they've of course tried to build up as much as they can, but I'm just not invested in this kind of rivalry. I don't care. They're probably going to do it again. Let's be honest. They're probably going to rematch, probably on the SmackDown. Please don't make them rematch at Hell in a Cell. I'll cry if they do. I'm sure they won't though. They will rematch on SmackDown. I'm 100% sure of that. I'm 100% sure they rematch this week on SmackDown. 100%. Anyway, that's that match done. Okay, so now we of course got to the main event, the Bloodline versus RK McBro, which we know the Bloodline are Roman Reigns and the Usos. RK McBro, Randy Orton, Riddle, and Drew McIntyre. this was a great main event. I'm gutted, of course, that they didn't unify the titles because I was actually really excited for the. Yeah, I was actually really excited for the title unification match, but they didn't do it. So I was a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed that they didn't go through with the title unification, but it's what it is. Can't do anything about it. This was a good match anyway, though. Probably gonna go somewhere with Reigns and McIntyre. Yeah, at the start of the match, actually, speaking of Reigns and McIntyre, so Drew McIntyre wanted to fight Roman. Although at times when Drew was in, he kept on saying to Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso, whatever when it was, tag in Roman. Yeah, no. Tag in Roman. That's the best I can do. And then Roman said, and Roman was a bit reluctant at first. They said, tag me in. Roman tagged in. And then they stared off at each other. And then Roman started laughing. Tagged back in one of the Usos. And then went back out. And then Roman Reigns went back out. And then Drew McIntyre just destroyed the Usos. As well. I mean, Drew McIntyre is just brilliant. I mean, look, we already knew it, but Drew McIntyre is just brilliant. Of course, he's very good. Randy Orton had a decent showing in this as well. We see a few RKOs around the place as well. I also really want to see Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at some point. These two had a few good moments. Yeah, I believe Randy Orton actually hit Roman Reigns with an RKO. Roman Reigns ended up hitting a Superman punch out of nowhere onto Randy Orton as well, which was good to see. So hopefully we go somewhere with these two in a rivalry. How this match ended. So the match ended simply by Riddle hitting an RKO off the top rope onto one of the Usos. And then Roman Reigns. So, yeah, Riddle hit an RKO off the top rope on one of the Usos. Then Roman Reigns came into the ring, speared Riddle. 1, 2, 3. It's all over. The Bloodline win against RK Bro and Drew McIntyre after a very good match. To be honest, it was very good. It was a very good match. I really enjoyed it. To be honest with you. So, yeah, I mean, Riddle hitting these RKOs from the top rope, and then you get speared by Roman Reigns, and then you lose. But still, Riddle's brilliant hitting these RKOs. He just jumps right onto the top rope and then just RKOs you. He's as good as Randy Orton. Well, I mean, obviously, no one's as good as Randy Orton. He's the second best person who's good at the RKO. Yeah, but both teams had a really good showing. I mean, you know, let's be honest with you. It was just an extremely entertaining match. I'm not really too bothered who won and lost that match because it was just a great match to watch. So I'm not really too bothered about the results, really, because yeah, we're just there for a great match and we got the great match. Yeah, really enjoyable overall. Really enjoyable. So what matches? So what are we gonna give all the matches? So Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, 8 out of 10. Bobby Lashley versus Omos gets a 6 out of 10. I believe that's what I gave it for WrestleMania as well. Who's the other one after that? Edge versus AJ Styles. Give that a 7 out of 10. No, 8. 8 out of 10 for Edge versus AJ Styles. What's the fourth match? Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. My favorite match of the night. 9 out of 10. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss, 5 out of 10. Bloodline versus RK Bro and Drew McIntyre gets that can get an 8 out of 10. That would, yeah. So 8 out of 10 for the main event. The Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. That gets an 8 out of 10. So yeah, overall, what does the show get out of 10? What does the overall show get? The overall show gets a 8 out of 10. It gets an 8 out of 10. I honestly didn't think, like, before, like, the show actually happened, I I was like, nah, this show, it's going to be like a 6 out of 10 at best. But no, it was actually a very good show, 8 out of 10. I'm excited for Hell in a Cell. Hopefully that's when we get Edge versus AJ Styles to finish off their rivalry. That would be cool. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching this video of King Oz. I'll speak to you all soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, anyway, I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out.